a ring of inner and outer radii of 8 centimeter and 9 centimeter is pulled out of water surface with the force of. So the given surface tension of the water T is equal to 70 dyne per centimeter. So you can take is the ring here, inner and outer surface you can take. So if to pull out, so generally here what the forces are acting, here is forces are acting, we have to pull out. So generally you can assume as a theta is equal to, you can assume as a 0 degree. So force of length you can take. Here L is equal to, generally what you can write, 2 pi into R1 you can write. So that is the reason I'm writing force here. Two outer and inner two are there. So T into, I'm taking the two different radius, 2 pi into 1 is smaller plus T into second radii 2 pi into R you can take. If I take F is equal to what you can take common, T into 2 pi if you take common, we are going to get R plus R. Force F is equal to, we are going to get T into 2 pi into R plus R we are going to get. That is equal to the force. F is equal to, we can write here, F is equal to T value surface tension, right? So 70 into, they given dyne per centimeter. In the problem they given as dyne per centimeter. Dyne per centimeter, we take T is equal to 70 dyne. 1 dyne is equal to 10 power of minus 5 Newton divided by centimeter was 10 power of minus 2. So T is equal to, we are going to get 70 into 10 power of minus 3. So I'm going to write 70 into 10 power of minus 3 into 2 pi value you can take as a 22 by 7 you can write. Two different radius they given. Two different radius. One is 8 centimeter and the second one is 8 plus 9. That is in centimeter. I'm going to write in terms of 10 power of minus 2. If you take force F is equal to 10 times 10 into 10 power of minus 3. So you can take 10 power of minus 2 into 44 into 17 into 10 power of minus 2 we can write. Then force F is equal to 44 into 7. If you calculate 44, 748 will come. 748 into 10 power of minus 4. So just if you check the option, 7.48 into 10 power of minus 2. 7.48 into 10 power of minus 2 Newton. Option 3 is correct. In this problem, 8 drops of liquid of density rho and each of radius smaller are falling through air with a constant velocity of 4.5 centimeter per second. When the 8 drops are coils to form a single drop, then the terminal velocity of the mu drop will be. So if you take, these are the n identical small drops. So n means here n is equal to 8 drops they given. 8 drops of radius is going to form a one big drop of radius r. If you take one big drop of radius r, amount of volume will be the same. So n into v, volume of a small is equal to volume of a bigger drop. We take n into volume, what you can write 4/3 pi into small r cube is equal to 4/3 times of the pi into capital R cube. So this is a bigger body radius, these are the small body radius. We cancel 4/3 pi gets cancelled. You are going to get capital R is equal to n power of 1/3 times of the small r you are going to get. Then we know terminal velocity and radius relation. Vt is equal to, we can write Vt is equal to 2/9 r square g into rho minus sigma divided by eta. If you take terminal velocity is directly proportional to the r square. So if you take terminal velocity of a small drop v1, I am assuming v1 square divided by v2 square is equal to, you can write small r square divided by capital R square. Then v1 square by v2 square is equal to small r square divided by r value. If you substitute n power 1/3, n power of 2/3 times of the small r square gets cancelled. Small r square gets cancelled. So it's not a v square, that's a v. Just v is directly proportional to r square. So if you take v is directly proportional to r square, no? So v2, the last terminal velocity of a big drop is equal to n power of 2/3 times of the small terminal velocity. We take v2 is equal to n value given 8 they given. So n value you can write 2 power of 3 whole power of 2 by 3 into velocity v. In the problem they given velocity is equal to 4.5 they given. If we take as a 4.5 centimeter per second, so v2 is equal to cube gets cancelled 4 into 4.5. So you will get 18 centimeter per second. This is the terminal velocity of a bigger body. So you can write centimeter no. So 18 centimeter you can write as a 18 into 10 power of minus 2 meter per second. This is a centimeter per second. If you convert unit 18 into 10 power of minus 2 meter per. In the problem, a capillary tube of radius r is placed in a liquid. If the angle of contact is theta, the radius of curvature r of the meniscus in capillary is. If you take this is they are, you can take immersed in a liquid. They are immersing a capillary tube. A capillary tube of radius they given as a small r in the problem they given. Right. So this is the radius of a capillary. Then here, if you take a bubble was formed. So this bubble have some radius r. If you take the bubble radius is capital R, and the small r is the radius of the capillary tube. Small r is the radius of a capillary tube. So if it is make an angle theta here, then you can write cos theta is equal to, generally you can write adjacent side divided by hypotenuse, small r by capital R. Small r is equal to r into cos theta. What about the small r? Small r is the radius of a capillary tube and a capital R is the radius of curvature of the meniscus. So small r equal to r into cos theta. Option 1 is correct. So in this problem, they're asking capital R. If you take capital R is equal to, you can write capital R is equal to small r divided by cos theta. Here r is the radius of the meniscus. This small r is the radius of a capillary tube. So option 3 is correct. Next problem, a fluid in a streamline flow across a fluid is in streamline flow across a horizontal pipe of variable area of cross section. For this, which of the following statement is correct? If you take according to the equation of continuity, what it says, according to the equation of continuity, we can write A into V is equal to constant, you can write. Area into velocity is equal to constant. So A1, V1 is equal to A2, V2, we can write. Velocity is maximum as to narrow part. So V is inversely proportional to A. B is velocity, A is area. So velocity is maximum at narrow tube and vice versa. So velocity is minimum at so larger area. So if you take this is the larger area and if you take the smaller part, so that means here velocity is more, here velocity is less, here velocity is more. If you apply horizontal pipe, generally if you take a horizontal pipe, pressure is minimum at if you take horizontal pipe also, horizontal tube, pressure is minimum at narrowest part, pressure minimum at so if you go through the options, now, just you can check in the first part, in the first option, the velocity is maximum at the narrowest part and of the pipe. Pressure is maximum at the widest of the pipe. So this is the appropriate answer. And if you take the second option, velocity and pressure both are maximum at the narrowest part of the pipe. So this is wrong. Velocity and pressure both are maximum at the widest part of the pipe. This is also wrong. The velocity is minimum at the narrowest part of pipe and the pressure is minimum at the narrowest part of the pipe. If you take a horizontal pipe, velocity is maximum at the narrowest part of the pipe and the pressure is maximum at the widest part of the pipe. So option A is correct. In the problem, one end of a glass capillary tube with a radius r equal to 0.05 centimeter is immersed into water to a depth of h. So an air bubble out of the lower end of the tube will be. In the problem, surface tension of the water equal to 70 times per centimeter and take G value 980 centimeter per second square. So that means excess pressure. Excess pressure, if you take delta P is equal to, we can write for air bubble, delta P is equal to, we can write as 2T by R. Then P is equal to, with the depth you can write P is equal to rho into G into H plus 2T divided by R also we can write. Then if you take P is equal to, all is in CJ system, density of a water is 1, G value is at 10, height they given 2 centimeters. So that means G value, if you take in a CJ system, that will be, so this in CJ system, G value can take as a 980, otherwise 1000 you can take, and H value is 2 centimeter plus 2 into surface tension. Surface tension is 70 they given. So 2 into 70 divided by, what is the radius? In the problem they given, radius is equal to 0.05 centimeter. So that means 5 into 10 power of minus 2 centimeter. If we calculate P is equal to, you will get P is equal to 980 into 2 plus 28 into 10 power of plus 2. 28 into 10 power of plus 2. If we calculate, we'll get 4760 dyne per centimeter square. We'll get P is equal to 4760 dyne per centimeter square. We'll get. So which option? Option 4 is correct. Two capillary tubes P and Q are dipped in water. The height of water level in capillary P is 2/3 to height in Q capillary, the ratio of their diameters. The ratio of their diameter means here already we know R is inversely proportional to the H. Otherwise, you can write H1 R1 is equal to, you can write as a H2 R2 relation. From this relation, you can write RP divided by RQ is equal to, you can write HQ divided by HP they given. If you write RP divided by RQ is equal to HQ, I'm taking as a height H divided by HP. In the problem, HP they given 2/3 times of the Q of the height. So I'm taking HP is the 2/3 times of H. We cancel H and H. RP by RQ is equal to, you can write as a 3:2. So option 2 is correct. So if you take radius ratio, diameter ratio, both are same. You can write diameter of P by diameter of Q is equal to, you can write as a 3:2. So radius ratio, radius is going to divide by R equal to D by 2, no? So 2 gets cancelled. Radius ratio and diameter ratio, both will be the same. Water rises to a height of 2 centimeter in a capillary tube. The tube is tilted 60 degrees from the vertical water will rise in the tube of a length Okay, here if you take one capillary tube, the water level to a height H, you can take water level to a height H. If it is tilted, that means it makes an angle here. So you can take tilted an angle of 60 degrees. Excess pressure is equal to, we can write excess pressure is equal to, you can write as a 2T divided by R. You can write. Excess pressure H into rho into G is equal to, you can write as a 2T divided by R. Here height is same, height won't vary. So you can write cos 60 is equal to, you can write H divided by L. You can H divided by L. If we write L is equal to, what you can write, H divided by cos theta. Theta value 60. H divided by cos 60. Cos 60 value is 1 by 2. Height in the problem they given, L is equal to cos 60. Cos 60 means 1 by 2 you can write. So L is equal to H divided by cos 60 1 by 2. You can write L is equal to 2 times of the H you can write. H is equal to, they given 2 into 2, that is equal to 4 centimeter. Given height H is equal to 2 centimeter. So you can write option, the given problem, option 1 is correct. 4 centimeter. If a capillary tube is dipped into liquid outside or same, then the angle of contact is angle of contact. We know H is equal to, we know the relation H is equal to 2T into G. They given outside and inside, the levels are same. So you can take this is as a delta H. So delta H is equal to, you can write as a 0. If delta H is equal to cos theta divided by R into, as a 0 you can write. Cos theta is equal to 0. If cos theta equal to 0, theta is equal to, the cos function is 90 degree. So theta is equal to 90 degree. Option. The pressure inside soap bubble is 1.01 and 1.02 atmosphere respectively. The ratio of their volumes. We know relation pressure P is equal to, P in is equal to P naught plus, you can write as a 2T divided by R. So that means P value first one they given as a 1.01. This is 18. That is equal to P naught value is 180. It will be plus 2T by R. The next is next equation 1.02 is equal to 1 plus 2T divided by this is as a R1, this is as a R2. So the given soap bubble, so multiplied by 2. So not, it is not a 2T by R. Sorry, it is a 4T by R. P in is equal to, can write as a, so it's not a liquid drop, it is a soap bubble. So P in is equal to P naught plus, you can write as a 4T divided by R. If it is a normal liquid drop or air bubble, is a 2T by R. If it is a soap solution, that is a 4T by R. So 1.01 equal to 1 plus, you can write 4 times of the T by R. So you can write 4T divided by, this you can take as a R1 and this you can take as a 4T divided by R2. Then if you take this equal to 4T divided by R1 and the second one, 0.02 is equal to 4T divided by R2. We know the relation volume is equal to 4/3 pi R cube. So V1 by V2 is equal to, you can write as a R1 by R2 whole cube. Here we should get R1 by R2. If you take both, you divide 0.01 divided by 0.02 is equal to 40 gets cancelled. You are going to get R2 divided by R1. Then you can 2 by 1. Then volume V1 by V2 is equal to R1 by R2, 2 cube is to 1. So that means 8 is to 1. 8 is to 1 is correct answer. Option 3 is correct. The excess pressure inside a spherical drop of, then their respective mass ratio. They're asking the respective mass ratio. If we take excess pressure, P is equal to, we know 2T divided by R, we know this is excess pressure. They given in the problem, the excess pressure inside a spherical drop of water 4 times that of another drop. So here they given P1 is equal to 4 times of the P2. P1 is equal to, can write as a 2 divided by R2. If you cancel it, 2T, if you cancel it, you are going to get R2 is equal to 4 times of the R1. They're asking the mass ratio. Mass ratio M1 is to M2 is equal to Mass equal to density into volume. Rho into volume you can write as a 4/3 pi r1 cube divided by rho into 4/3 pi into r2 cube you can write. Rho 4/3 pi, rho 4/3 pi gets cancelled. M1 is to M2 is equal to R1 by R2 whole cube. R1 value I'm taking as a R1 cube, and R2 value I'm going to write as a 4 times of right mass ratio. M1 is to M2 is equal to, you can write as 1:64. Option 4 is correct. In this problem, water flows through a non-uniform tube of areas of cross section A, B, C, whose values are 25 centimeter square, 15 centimeter square, and 35 centimeter square respectively, of A, B, C, and respectively. Here they given 3 different areas. You can take area A1 is equal to 25 centimeter square, and A2 is equal to 15, and A3 is equal to, they given as a 35. We know according to the equation of continuity, AV is equal to constant. We can write A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2 is equal to, we can write as a A3 V3. If we take A1 is equal to 25 times of the V1, that is equal to 15 times of the V2, that is equal to 35 times of the V3. So they're asking the velocities ratios. We take velocities, V1 is to V2 is to V3 is equal to, you can write 1 by 25 is to 1 by 15 is to 1 divided by 35. So if you write, you are going to get the cancel 1:5, 1:3, and 1:7. So then if you take LCM, so then V1 is to V2 is to V3 is equal to, we'll get 21 is to 21 is to 35 is to 15. So 21 is to 35 is to 15. Option 1 is correct. The next question, a water hose 2 centimeter in diameter, is a hose pipe, is in diameter, is used to fill a 20-liter bucket. If it takes 1 minute to fill the bucket, then the speed v at which the water leaves the hose is. So if you take area is equal to, we can write pi into r square. Generally you can write r value, you can write d by 2, can write area A is equal to, you can write as a area is equal to pi into r square, r value d by 2. So that means we can write as a pi d square by 4. You can write, we take centimeter, 2 into 10 power of minus 2 whole square, you are going to get pi by 4 into 10 power of minus 4. So 4 gets cancelled. You can write pi into 10 power of minus 4. You can write this is area. They're asking, is used to fill a 20-liter bucket if it takes 1 minute to fill the bucket. So time taken is 1 minute. The total volume of the bucket was the 20-liter. The speed v at which the water leaves the hose. So we can take, first of all, how much rate of flow is there. So rate of flow is equal to, you can write as a volume divided by time. You can write rate of flow is equal to volume divided by time. Volume they given as a 20 liter. 20 liter, 1 liter is equal to 10 power of minus 3 meter cube divided by time value is 1 minute 60 seconds. So 3 times. That means it is taking 1 by 3 into 10 power of minus 3. Volume is meter cube. This is per second. This is the rate of flow if you take. Now they're asking the velocity. Rate of flow is equal to, you can write area into velocity. Area into velocity we can write. We take area into velocity. Rate of flow is 1 by 3 into 10 power of minus 3. That is equal to area we got pi into 10 power of minus 4 into velocity. Velocity we can write as v is equal to 10 power of minus 3, 10 power plus 4. So 10 divided by 3 times of the pi. 3 times of the pi. If you take approximately pi is equal to 3.14, this gets cancelled. V is equal to, you can write as a 1 meter per second. Otherwise, if you take 100 centimeter per second. So actually here, if you solve exact value, that is not a 100 centimeter per second. Actually, I did roughly. So you are going to get 10 divided by 3 pi, you are going to get 1.06 meter per second. The value 106, 100 is not there, means you can go to roughly, but one more close option was also there. So 1.06 meter per second. Then if you calculate, we are going to get 106 centimeter per second. So option 4 is correct. In this problem, an orifice of area 10 square millimeter is made at the bottom of a vessel containing water to a height of 10 meter above the orifice. What is the force on the vessel? What is the force on the vessel? Actually here, force exerted on a walls of a container, F is equal to force exerted on a walls of a container, F is equal to rho into A into V square. Rho is the density, A is area, V is velocity. Velocity of a flux, velocity of a flux, V is equal to square root of 2 into G into H, velocity of the flux. They given height 10 meter above the orifice. Height is above the orifice was 10 meter. V is equal to 2 into 10 into, you can take as a 10. Otherwise, you can take as a 9.8 because options are in terms of 9.8, 9.6. You can take G value as a 9.8. You are going to get V is equal to 196. V square is equal to V is equal to square root of 196. That is equal to 14. You can write. Then F is equal to density. Density of water is 10 power of 3 into area they given. Area they given as a 10 millimeter square. 10 into millimeter. 10 power of minus 6 will get into 14. 14 square. 14 square. 14 square means 196 only can write. So here F is equal to, you can write 10 power of 3, 196 into 10 power of minus 2. So force F is equal to 1.96 Newton. 1.96 Newton. Option 3 is correct. This problem, a tank of height H fully filled with water. If the water is rushing from a hole made in the tank below the free surface, strikes the floor at maximum horizontal distance, then depth of the hole from the free surface. Depth of the hole from the free surface. Here, this is the tank you can take. This is the tank of a height H. They made one orifice here. Orifice is at a height of small h. So that means the remaining height was h minus h. We know velocity v is equal to square root of 2 into g into above the orifice height, which we consider square root of 2gh. Then time taken t is equal to square root of 2 into h minus h. Below the orifice height, we will consider for the time taken. Then horizontal range. So this is the range we can take. Range r is equal to, we can write as a velocity into time taken square root of 2gh into square root of 2 into h minus h divided by g is the range. Then if you take r equal to, we are going to get 2 into 2, 1 2 will come outside. Gg gets cancelled. Gg gets cancelled. Inside square root of small h into capital H minus h. We do squaring on both sides. R square is equal to 4 into h into small h minus h. You can take here r square is equal to, you can write 4 into h multiply inside 4 into capital H into small h minus h square, you can write. The range is maximum. Range is maximum. Range is maximum. So you can write dr by dh is equal to 0. If you differentiate it, 2r into dr by, with respect to the height dh, is equal to 4 into h minus 2 into small h. Then we'll get, if we cancel it, 0 is equal to, we are going to get h minus 2 into h. So small h is equal to half of the tank height. If you get range is the maximum. So if we keep exactly at the half of the tank height, we are going to get the maximum range. To get the maximum range, always you have to keep half of the height of the tank. So option 4 is correct.